To another edition of the Benchwarmers podcast. I am Casey Coggins, and I am always joined with Alvin Hebert.
We here.
And Andrew Lira.
Howdy, howdy.
So I just want to get right into it. Kawhi has returned. He is back for the Spurs.
The Klaw.
And they're gonna limit his minutes, and he looked out of
decent.
He looked out of game shape a little bit.
It's cool, man. He just had a patch update. No problem.
I mean, he had 16 points or 13 points in 16 minutes, with
plus a block and a steal
and 6 rebounds.
Just filling the stat sheet, no big deal.
I mean, you do look kind of tired when you're working with Nipsey Hussle on something, you know what I mean?
On something. We don't know what, but it's something.
I hope he's just saying the introduction, like, yo, this is Kawhi. You're about to listen to Nipsey Hussle. And that's it.
Like what Blake Griffin did with Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
This is royalty.
Yeah, and it's I don't want to... Have you listened to Kawhi talk and how monotone he is?
Yeah. Not monotone. Did you not see him do karate? That's some range. That's some range right there.
I mean, Tim Duncan does MMA, so it's not surprising that Kawhi's doing karate.
I want to know what that Jordan, because it's for Jordan brand. So I want to know what that campaign's going to be.
It's I thought it was like a Gatorade crossover with Jordan.
Yeah, that Jordan season.
So we'll see what that commercial comes out to be. But Kawhi, he just, there are some moments where you're like, all right, that's the Kawhi that we saw last year, and then some moments where you're like, you need to get in shape, get back into it, and it's going to take, probably a week or two. The one thing that I took away from that game is it's going to take a while, I think, and probably until Kawhi gets into game shape, for the rotations and the team to really click. Because, Andrew, you sent the link to us about Popovich talking about overcoaching LaMarcus, and the one thing that stuck out was the quote where he was saying, if you're doubled, kick it. If you're not, be LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yep.
And that's what I was saying a couple weeks ago when we were discussing his return. When Kawhi returns, we don't need him to be the focal point on offense. We can't just toss him the ball, let him ISO pick and roll all the time. That cannot be part of the offense unless, it's 8 seconds left in the shot clock, end of game situation.
I mean, I think there will be some plays like that where they run for Kawhi.
Every now and then. But his usage rate last year was so high. I think his usage rate last year was the highest usage rate since Tim Duncan in 2004.
It kind of felt like he was carrying them, because every highlight you saw was him making some.
But
he was carrying them.
We've all watched,
but it wasn't like the Spurs.
So we've watched the Spurs enough to where they're going to win just as many games if they don't rely on him as much offensively. And it always feels to me that Kawhi forces a little too much, because he knows it is his team. He is the best player. He does need to
he kind of feels obligated.
Yeah, it seems like it sometimes, and I just don't want the Spurs to resort back to being that team, because they were 19-8 before last night, third best record in the West, and they were clicking on all cylinders for the most part offensively. You could see the ball rotation, the flex cuts, all the back screens, everything kind of was a free-flowing offense until, there were the plays where it's all right, LaMarcus, go to work. And LaMarcus, just like he did last night, he put in work. He got 23 last night, and Rudy Gay showed up and had 21. And after those two and Kawhi, I think the rest of the team scored. I don't even remember how much they ended up with, but
it was horrible. Yeah.
They were bad.
Terrible.
Terrible.
It was.
I think it's because it wasn't a national game anymore. Got in their head.
Maybe. Or maybe they just played five games in 7 nights, I think is what I heard. Or
something like that. It was a scheduled loss.
Yeah, and I mean, they had a couple days off in between the games.
On top of that, they'd been on a 4-game winning streak already, so...
I was just about to say that. I was like, didn't they change the schedule so they wouldn't be complaining about being tired for long games like that?
Well, it's
just not, so you're not complaining as much.
Well, it's not that they were tired, but it's like they got into a rhythm because they were playing so much that all of a sudden now they have 2 days off. They're traveling, and I should do the research into it. Thinking about it, I wonder how many teams traveling on 2 days rest like actually come out and like perform. I mean, they might win the game, but I'd like to see like what the first half score was, like how the game flow was.
Well, you usually expect them to start slow
because
it was a low scoring game.
Yeah, it was an ugly game.
I think it was like 52-55 halfway through the third quarter.
I mean, there are those games for I'm sure a lot of
like
teams.
A game back in 1992.
Sounds like a high school game. It's a high school final right there.
It seems to me like there are some games that the Spurs play where you can normally tell that they're going to lose because of plays like a shot gets blocked, it hits a player's foot, it bounces 10 feet to the right, a guy catches it, throws it up by the desperation shot clock, and it goes in.
It was like bouncing a basketball on rocks. Like, it's just...
Yeah, so, and like there was a play where JJ Barea like forces up a shot because he thinks he gets fouled, and he's like horizontal to the court, like parallel to the court, and he throws it up off the glass and it bounces in. And it's like those kind of plays where you're like, God, that's so bad. That's such bad basketball. And then the ball just bounces the way it goes, or they
it's
like...
just a bad way to lose.
Yeah, and I feel like the Spurs... I mean, I watch mostly Spurs games, but I'm sure other teams, like when they watch their team, like other fans, when they watch their team all the time, they see it a lot. It's like, Jesus, like they're getting all the breaks. Like they're catching... They're getting everything. Like it's like in football, if a receiver goes up to catch a pass and the ball hits his hands and pops up in the air and he falls down on the ground and still catches it. Like you're like, if you're the other team, you're like, well, fuck, we're losing this game.
Like that Wes Welker catch in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly like that.
After that catch, it's like, okay, you know the Patriots are winning now.
Yeah. So there's...
Or the one on the helmet, you're just like, why?
Yeah, like they're...
Aaron Rodgers, Hail Marys.
Those plays that you're just...
But let a cowboy do is, no catch.
Nope.
Bitches.
So it'll be really interesting to watch the Spurs over the next couple weeks, because this is where they should start figuring out what they're going to look like in May and June, hopefully June, because Kawhi is going to be working himself back into shape, starting to play. He's going to start playing more minutes. Tony's going to be playing more minutes, and by more minutes, you're looking at 25 to 30, because Pop doesn't play guys like Tibbs does.
I'll give it like a month, and then you'll see the Spurs hitting their stride. Like
and the Spurs were using their 11th man like the second quarter.
The real key, I think, to a Spurs playoff run is how Pop and the rest of the team works around LaMarcus and Kawhi, and how those two work around each other, because those are the focal points. Those are the two guys that can take us to a championship. We have the Spurs always have great role players, a great bench, great coaching,
great
and
defense.
system. Like those things are like they're always there, but you need more than just that to win a championship. And that's the 5 that we've won. 4 were with Tim Duncan in his prime. Like the 4th was him right when he was exiting his prime, and the 5th was just a revenge series and Kawhi coming of age, and So it's Kawhi and LaMarcus have to figure out like how the offense is going to work with them on the court together. And I've said it that the way I believe it should work is the same way that it kind of works in Golden State. Golden State has 4 guys who are like great passers. They move the ball well. They do make back screens. They do all the little things. So it's not just, all right, your turn, because if we look at teams who do that, Oklahoma City, that doesn't work. Like, they have 3 probably top 20 players in the league, and yes, I will put Carmelo in the top 20 because I know what he can do, but they just ISO all the time. That's all they do. Apparently, from what I heard yesterday on some radio show, is like former Thunder players are like, yeah, Billy Donovan doesn't call plays. Like, he doesn't call offensive plays. So you can't just let Kawhi and LaMarcus ISO like one-on-one screen and roll all the time. You need to keep that free-flowing passing the Spursian beautiful game offense going.
I mean, you only see that from the Warriors. It's like, those nights where Kawhi goes off for like 60 and stuff, and then that's when you see him like, give it to him.
This gives it a hot hand. That's just natural.
If that's the case, go for it. Like, if Kawhi is drilling, if Kawhi gets the tip, like if we win the tip, they give the ball to Kawhi, and in the first 5 seconds he hits a pull-up jumper. Like, I'm gonna give him the ball again and let him do that. But
that's how you end up with Klay Thompson getting 40-point quarters.
80 I would say 80% of the time, though, for the Spurs, that's not going to be the case.
Oh no, because but the Warriors, you see it passing around, like that ball's going around.
It's just around the horn, and you got one guy flying left and right.
Yeah, and so you have the players to do so. Like, we don't need Kawhi being our main ball handler. Like, Tony Parker. The reason why we looked so good in the first 2 series, like, Tony Parker was having some flashback moments where he was getting into the paint, causing havoc, and that creates the ball movement where he kicks it out to Danny. Danny kicks it to Kawhi. Kawhi comes off of the screen and roll. The defense is scrambling, and now Kawhi, after the screen and roll, usually has a pretty open 12 to 15 footer. And if the ball ends up in Kawhi's hands making a play off of ball movement, that's one thing. If they throw the ball into Kawhi and Kawhi dribbles 15 times, that's not what I want to see. And I feel like there are a lot of Spurs fans who are okay with seeing that, but they don't understand that is not going to be the Warriors. The reason why we were up 23 against that game wasn't because of Kawhi. Kawhi helped a lot. But our leading scorer in that game was LaMarcus Aldridge.
Because he played the whole game.
No, before Kawhi went out, he had like 18 in the first quarter.
Who made it happen?
The ball movement.
Kawhi. He single-handedly do it.
And Kawhi was defending Durant real good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's really the main focus on me saying
nice and proper.
That Kawhi should not be the focal point of the offense. He has the ability to be the focal point of the offense, but he shouldn't be the focal point of the offense because the Spurs are so good defensively and he's such a good defender that
that's probably why Durant trying to be all tough now. Because Kawhi sized him up and he's just like, hold on. Man, I'm still 7 foot. I'm scrawny, but I'm tall.
So that's why I say it'll be interesting to see how the two mesh and the Spurs mesh around it.
Still got that bird chest.
From one. Calm the fuck down.
Right? Yeah.
It was funny, but not that funny. Damn.
Got
him. So going from one guy returning from injury to another guy returning from injury, the Godfather, as Stephen A. Smith likes to say, the bad man, Aaron Rodgers.
Mr. Discount Double Check.
He is returning, and somehow
Not
Brett
friends,
Hundley,
but best friends.
somehow Brett Hundley kept them in the playoff hunt, and they should have lost to the Browns, which would have ruined the plans.
Mike McCarthy got balls, man, because he was like, "It's not Brett Hundley. We're gonna get it right." Pulls off three straight wins with them. Keep them in it.
I mean,
Keep them in the wild card race.
One of the wins was against the Browns. What was the other one again? Who was the other wins again?
But it's Brett Hundley though. It wasn't.
That is true, but I mean, I've said it before. Like, if you're an NFL quarterback, you're a good quarterback. It's what the coach does around you to help you win.
McCarthy stood behind him. He was like, "No."
That's one of the reasons why the Browns haven't won a game is I don't think Hugh Jackson has coached Deshaun Kaiser right. Like, made the right decisions on the plays to run and how to benefit his young quarterback.
Well, we talked about that week when he started playing that musical chairs and stuff. Took him out when he started having a bad game. Like,
yeah,
messed it all up. You fucked up, man.
So
fucked up.
The Packers are 7-6, tied with the Cowboys and the Lions at 7-6. I
don't know about your Lions, man.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna make it. The Seahawks.
I know about them.
The Seahawks are 8-5. The Falcons are 8-5. Carolina is 9-4. New Orleans is 9-4. The Rams are 9-4. So,
NFC's so stacked.
The 3 through 10 teams are within 2 games of each other, and 4, 5, and 6 are all in the same division.
It's going to be 3 teams from the South into the playoffs.
It seems that way. I mean, I picked the Panthers and the Falcons to both make the playoffs at the beginning of the season, just because I wasn't quite sure how the Saints were going to pan out.
Man, I really thought the Saints was going to be trash.
And then they looked like it in the first 2 weeks, and then they traded Adrian Peterson and just
balled out.
Yeah. So, yeah, Green Bay is sitting at 7-6, playing Carolina, who is the 5 seed right now. So they win that. They'll be a game behind Carolina, who will be in the 6th spot then. And then Green Bay, I believe, plays the Lions.
I thought they played the Vikings.
They play the Lions in Week 16. And then, they play the Vikings in Week 16, and they play the Lions in Week 17. So back-to-back division games against. I mean, the Lions' defense has fallen back a bit, but they're still a pretty physical defense, and they create takeaways.
I honestly don't see Green Bay beating Minnesota.
But yeah, it'll be. I personally don't see them winning this week against the Panthers, because Carolina needs this win just as much as the Packers do. So it's going to feel like a playoff game there, and the Panthers are just a more complete team. The Packers defense is garbage, and
they're also playing in Carolina,
and the Panthers can run the ball.
Finally.
And if you're going to beat the Packers, you know what you have to do. Run the ball. If you're going to beat the Patriots, you know what you have to do? Run the ball.
Basically an even line. To give Carolina 3 points just because they're at home.
They're at home, yeah.
Yeah, and that defense too, so.
But that's still saying that it's, on paper, you're even. But to me, they're not even. The defense on the Panthers is enough to be able to slow down the Packers' offense. And the Packers' defense, I don't think, has a chance to slow down the Panthers' offense. The only way that the Panthers' offense is getting slowed down is if they make mistakes.
You mean Cam Newton makes mistakes?
No, the whole team. Like, if Jonathan Stewart tries to bounce a run outside the tackles and gets chopped and fumbles.
No, just gotta hope Cam Newton doesn't have one of those games.
Yeah, and that's the risk with a lot of teams is you have to hope that your quarterback doesn't make those plays to lose the game. There are very few quarterbacks in the league that you can almost guarantee that they won't. And we even saw that one of those guys you would normally say wouldn't made one last Thursday in that interception on Drew Brees. he made a bad play. Like, you don't expect that.
Yeah, that's one of those rare occasions. Those like blue moons. Oh damn.
Those Drew moons. So on staying with the injury on the football side, as one great quarterback is coming back, a possibly great quarterback is leaving.
Who are they?
Along with the Eagles' hopes and dreams, they just came and went.
Fool's gold, man.
I need to put a sign on this table that says no puns allowed.
There's nothing punny about it.
No pun intended.
Man, Carson Wentz made a terrible decision. Like, yeah, we get it. You're a big, tough quarterback who can run, and you want to make a play like John Elway. But
look at Big Ben, man. Like, he thought that way then until he started breaking down.
yeah,
But do you see his warm up though? Big Ben's pushing pads to the ground and said, "Nah, bitch."
and that's like, there's a reason why
He looks for hits.
There's the reason why, like, there's the adage that mobile quarterbacks don't last in the league, and it's because they run and make a play, and they get hit by, a 285-pound guy running full speed,
And then we have to suffer for it because they make more rolls for them.
the opposite direction. Like, that's just how it's going to work. It's physics.
They want to run that Michael Vick big play scramble,
And you don't want him to get hit in the head.
As soon as you leave that pocket, it's just whack.
new rule. Just
Well,
apply.
it was yeah. You saying that, it was. I was listening to. I feel like I was listening to NFL Live, watching NFL Live, and they were talking about how, 6 years ago on Countdown, on Sunday Countdown, they always did the jacked up thing. Just 6 to 8 years ago, that was the big thing, was jacked up. Players getting hit and knocked out of games, and now
you can't even see it. They can't even show that.
yeah.
It's gruesome.
But it's, you look at that hit is, one, Carson Wentz dives and trying to score a touchdown. And so as he's diving, a defender can't go at his helmet because then he'd get flagged for helmet to helmet. So they have to go low. That was one of the things that was one of the main talking points about these rules about helmet to helmet contact, is now you're going to see more leg injuries. You're going to see more ankles hurt. You're going to see more ACL tears. You're going to see more leg, all the lower
Except
body
with the
stuff.
ACL tears, they're mainly the ACL tears are coming from non-contact plays.
Yeah,
this is the first one that you really seen from a hit. Teddy Bridgewater was non-contact.
Yeah.
Arian Foster, all of his were non-contact.
Deshaun Watson,
the non-contact.
But so I think
the wind blew, and he was like,
I think Teddy Bridgewater's is the most freakish one, but
he almost lost his whole leg.
I think it was Richard Sherman who brought up the point that, Deshaun Watson was just coming off of a Thursday night game, and then a Sunday night game, and then a Thursday night game, and so his muscles didn't recover quick enough, so he's going out there to practice, and it happens. So there's a lot of the science and stuff that we can get into.
They should let me some testosterone or some HGH.
I'm cool with hitting at the chest, but it's you lower the target. What do you think the other person at the end is doing? He's lowering himself down to brace himself for the hit.
Yeah.
So it's that target is moving constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Not anybody's just gonna be running straight up hit me in the chest.
They should get rid of the flags and just stick with fines. They could review it later, be like, okay, well, we noticed that this was bad, this was bad, this was bad. Fines will be set out accordingly.
Yeah.
Don't worry about flagging it at the moment, because all you're gonna do is get criticized for it.
Or 6-game suspensions.
Exactly. You're gonna get criticized for it. Why not just look over it during the week and be like, all right, cool. We noticed that there was a hit here, there was a hit here, there was a hit here. Fines will be set.
But there are some that deserve a flag.
The malicious ones where they know.
Juju Smith-Schuster's deserve the flag. The crackback blocks where, they're coming back to hit somebody and blindside somebody.
Yeah, that unnecessary roughness. But I mean, the whole.
But I
hit on the
later
quarterback
in that possession, Iloka one on Antonio Brown. I don't think that should have been flagged because, one, Antonio Brown's I think what we said he's listed at 6 foot. And so he's in the air and he's coming down. So you're telling me that a safety who's trying to go up there and dislodge a football from a player catching it is going to be like, all right, well, so he's 6 foot tall. He's at the apex of his jump now. He's coming down. I need to dive at this exact spot.
Do you have all this going in your head like as you're running?
He's over there doing like geometry.
There are some very intelligent football players, but I doubt that they process the mechanics of
they run the whole equation through their head.
It's too fast, man.
It's all algebra.
It's reactionary. It's a reactionary game.
He's all like taking this angle, like, all right, here's the shadow. Let me measure the angle from it.
Pretty soon you're gonna see fucking safeties pulling out protractors.
You're gonna be like, time out, hold up.
We're
graphic calculators.
We're in the middle of a play.
What's the answer?
What is X equal?
What is pi?
Wentz made a bad decision. He made a bad choice, and he dove, and he deserved to get his knee smashed in.
Oh my god!
No, nobody deserves that.
Nobody deserves. He deserves like a sprained ankle. That's about it.
Casey Savage moment.
God, oh my god!
On the bench, Robert's pocket.
Never wish serious injury on any player.
Every time you do that, you should just have like. Boo, 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 boo.
Bang, 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 shots fired!
No, it's just I'm a Robert Griffin III fan, and I've watched him plenty of times do stupid things on the field because he's trying to get an extra yard. He hasn't really done stupid things off the field.
He looked like Brandon Paul the other day on TV.
Oh, his cornrows?
Yes, I was like, is that Brandon Paul? I was like, why is he on NFL Live?
But, like, they're just the plays that he's trying to make because he has the athletic ability to, but he doesn't realize that it's going to cost him. Like, and he got hit by Haloti, he got hit by Haloti Ngata because he tried to make a play instead of just throwing the ball away and living to see another day. The fumble against the Seahawks that kind of cost him that game, and I think that was the play that kind of cost him the rest of the career, was he tried to pick up the ball that he fumbled instead of just laying on it, tried to pick it up, make a play, and then got hit on the knee because another player is diving at it. You're the quarterback of the team. You're the face of the franchise. You need to make the proper decision on when to go down, when to give up on a play.
Because now the Deadskins are stuck with, you like that?
Yeah, well, and it's not
they don't like that.
But, like, you look at, Cam Newton. Cam Newton gets hurt last year, and they have to go to Derek Anderson, who's a capable backup, but he's not Cam. Now Carson Wentz is out. They have to go to Nick Foles.
Nick Foles is still...
He went back.
Oh, I was like, I didn't even know he was still in the league.
Ain't that dude that look like Napoleon Dynamite?
I forgot the mobile quarterback that I wanted to bring up, that like they just, you tend to try to make a play happen and it costs you an injury, and this might cost the Eagles their season. Because they already have some crucial injuries, so I don't see them winning the NFC. And switching over to the AFC, there's really, I feel like it's a kind of a 2-horse race. And they play this week. The Steelers and the Patriots seem in line to face each other about 6 weeks from now in the AFC Championship game. And one of them is kind of seems destined to go to the Super Bowl.
They're predicted to go undefeated.
I don't know about the Steelers, man. Like the past 2-3 weeks, like they've been having to make these like miracle comeback.
I'm not. 2 of them were against the Bengals and the Ravens, and I was just actually texting my friend Matt about the Ravens Steelers game because his little brother's a big Ravens fan, and he thought that there are a lot of games that are like blowouts, and he's like, it's good to see a close game. I was like, that's how this series is, like, and so I took a screenshot of the previous like 10 years of how they've played, and there have been 3 games out of I think 20 that was decided by more than 7 points. Like, no matter how bad the team is on either side, like, same thing with the Bengals. Like, you don't really ever see a Steelers-Bengals blowout.
It's like a college basketball rivalry. Like,
yeah, like
rivalry games,
Duke, North Carolina.
Like, they're tight, close games.
Yeah, so it's there's something to be said about that division and how they always play each other so close. Like, even the Browns hold their own against some of these teams.
Sometimes.
For the most part.
Josh Gordon's back.
The Browns almost beat the Steelers in like week 4. So that's the division. So them having to kick last second field goals and make last second plays happen.
I mean, you need those wins, but I'm just like,
it doesn't.
I feel like they play to the competition.
They always play down to the competition.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's why against the Patriots, I'm not worried. Because the Steelers might have the most explosive offense in the league when they're on. Like, if they're clicking on all cylinders, like the Saints have an explosive offense, the Rams have an explosive offense, the Eagles had an explosive offense, the Patriots can have an explosive offense, but none of these teams have arguably the best running back and the best receiver on their team.
Well, I mean, when you have the best receiver on your team and you could just be like, all right, the final game plan is throw it to Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
He will win us the game.
And, I mean, he had, 11 receptions for, 200 yards against the Ravens?
Yeah, but it was like that last, comeback play. It was just like Antonio Brown.
Whatever works. Right. Whatever it takes, man.
And, I mean, like I just said about the beating the Patriots, you have to be able to run the ball. Le'Veon Bell can run the ball. The Steelers can run the ball. But playoff Patriots are a different story. Like, if they turn the ball over, they were showing some of the last time that the Steelers played the Patriots was in the 2016 AFC Championship game. Le'Veon Bell went out of that game in the first quarter with a groin injury. Like, think about what the difference of that game could be. I think last season, the Steelers played the Patriots in the playoffs, and Antonio Brown missed the game because he was concussed the week before against the Bengals by Vontaze Burfict. So, imagine if the Patriots played a healthy Steelers team, a healthy Steelers offense, because this Patriots defense is garbage. It's bad.
That defense reminds me of the Cowboys defense last year. It was like
they don't have a pass rush.
They give up a lot of yards, but they get the key stops, even though they constantly giving up over 300, 400 yards a game.
The Patriots don't really have a pass rush. They have a couple injuries to their linebackers, and I don't think their cornerbacks are as good as people thought they were at the beginning of the season, because Malcolm Butler got torched by Jarvis Landry or Grant, whatever his first name was, Jaleel Grant for the Dolphins. The Dolphins torched the Patriots. Now imagine Big Ben and Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster coming back from injury, and Martavis Bryant has his head out of his ass. James Jones, Jesse James, their tight end.
James Earl Jones.
Something like that. Darth Vader. So I think that in today's NFL,
that Jesse James name just reminds me of Pokemon all day. Like, Jesse James.
Oh my god.
So like if the Steelers win this game, they're pretty much a lock of getting the 1 seed, I believe. So, and that would mean that the Patriots would have to go into Heinz Field to play the Steelers, which would also make some calls the Steelers to be, I think, favored. I think it'll be this could be the best game of the season because the Patriots don't really ever lose back-to-back games. And it's Tom Brady and Bill Belichick against the Steelers. They're probably biggest rival in the league right now. So it should be I think it'll be a good game, and it'll go a long way into seeing who's going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. But let's transition into our weekly, what is it, Sloppy Toppy Jockey?
There we go.
There he is. There it is.
Sloppy Toppy going with the jockey.
Lock it in.
So I'll start as I usually do, I believe, in my toppy is Victor Oladipo. He won Eastern Conference Player of the Week.
That game against the Cavs.
He put up some monster games, but it's mainly it's the stats and he's looked great, but people gave up on him. Like the Magic gave up on him after his, I think, rookie year and got rid of him. Maybe it was his second season.
Well, that was his mini blowout season, coming out party season. He was having these kind of games.
He looked like he was going to be a credible point/shooting guard, combo guard, and then they were like, never mind, we'll trade you. And God, what team did he go to after that? I forgot what team he got traded to.
Didn't he go straight from Orlando to OKC?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yep.
That was for Serge Ibaka, no?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So he only had the 1 year in OKC then.
Yeah.
And
went from OKC to Indiana.
Yep.
I have my timelines off in my head then. Because I feel like Ibaka's been off of the Thunder for a while, but yeah, they traded him. They traded Ibaka right before Durant signed with the Warriors because they were trying to make the team centered around Westbrook and Durant. So they traded for Doug McDermott and they traded for Oladipo. And then last year, all the people were talking about Russell Westbrook having no help, and he's carrying this team to the playoffs with averaging a triple-double, and he doesn't have a supporting cast
like that.
And because he didn't get a chance to play like that.
We only get the ball 9 times.
That's like saying
you're giving up rebounds to Russ.
It's like saying LaMarcus Aldridge isn't playing like this last year. Yeah, that's because Kawhi had the ball 25% of the time. He had, I think, a 25.3 usage rating.
But then even after Kawhi went down, LaMarcus Aldridge didn't play like that. So, that's invalid argument, sorry.
That is not how it works.
That's not how it works.
Because you use the other player to help you free yourself up.
You want to go play? Then go play. Come on, LaMarcus. Nah, I kid.
So now you're seeing, Doug McDermott looking like a capable player and Oladipo looking like a capable player.
Well, I thought McDermott was a capable player because he had those big games with Chicago where he was putting up 30 points, and I was like,
he's a capable player. You just got to give him a chance.
Yeah, give the kid the playing time.
The problem with the McDermott is he isn't somebody who you can really play 35 to 40 minutes a game because
we don't know because he hasn't been having those type of minutes. But when he did with the Bulls, he was putting up 30
because
points.
of just the athleticism at his position and the defensive ability. That's really it. It's
but he has the size and the strength.
I would rather have somebody like Thabo Cephalosha, who might not be able to score a lot, but I can trust him to compete defensively, because it's easier to work around a bad offensive player than it is to work around a bad defensive player. Because a bad defensive player, the offense is just going to say, all right, we're going to go at you. Where a bad offensive player, even though a team might just completely disregard the player, you can still at least give him the ball and let him shoot and possibly make a shot, or let him dribble into the paint and maybe draw somebody to where he can kick it out and get the ball moving. But a bad defensive player, like watching Pau Gasol against Steph Curry in a pick and roll, like I want to shoot my brains out.
Man, but that's not like saying, hey, Pop saying like, Pau, you're locking down Steph.
But that's what I'm saying though.
It's just a switch.
A bad defensive player, they're going to say, all right. It's actually one of the plays that Oladipo did against the Cavs is, I forgot who was coming to set a screen for him, but one of his big men was going to set a screen, and the guy was being guarded by LeBron, and he was like, no, you go away. And he calls the other big man who's getting guarded by Kevin Love to come out to set the screen. It's like, that's the guy I want to switch on to me. So you can hide a bad offensive player, but it's hard to hide a bad defensive player, because all they have to do is put you in a screen and roll.
Well, that's what they did to Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, and that then it goes to help defense, and it's harder to work around. So Oladipo got my vote on that one this week. Alvin, I'll let you go next.
I was kind of having a hard time picking my top here. So I put Ronaldo. He won in the fifth
balloon. He won his fifth balloon.
Yeah, dude's overrated.
Overrated.
I was like, you can't call yourself the greatest player and not be. So it makes no sense.
that guy's from Argentina.
I mean, at least soccer has like a legit like who's better argument, like Messi or Ronaldo, other than LeBron or Jordan. Like,
well, I mean, they're playing at the same time.
I know they're playing at the same time.
That's the only reason it's a better argument. Is just
it's a more legit. And then it's like when people say Messi, is like, yeah, okay, I can see that.
Because Messi's not overrated.
Well, God, I hope Argentina wins the World Cup. I really do.
Aren't they in that death group with Germany and...
No, they got a legit hard group with Germany.
Two teams.
Netherlands.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about the Netherlands not being
Netherlands didn't make it, I think.
Yeah, they did. They're in that death group. I think it's like Group F.
Because,
remember
we had that topic about, like...
Yeah, all Italy.
Soccer and, like, all the other teams. I know, I think it was Chile, Italy, USA, and it was another team. I thought it was Netherlands.
Oh, Sweden, not Netherlands. Sweden.
White country. Whatever.
Oh, yeah, Sweden's in that group, yeah.
Germany, oh, no, wait, that's the different one. Argentina is with Croatia, Iceland, and Nigeria. They got a kind of easy one. Germany, Mexico, Sweden, and South Korea. That's a fucking group.
Yeah. And Mexico's been playing hot, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, they play in Mexico. But I mean, I'm a Barcelona fan, and
Barca.
You know what I hate though? Like,
what do you hate, Alvin? Tell us.
People that say they're soccer fans, but they only know Neymar, Ronaldo, and Messi.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I'm
not saying that's you.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, wait.
I know the real Ronaldo.
I'm just saying in general, like.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I'm a Barcelona fan isn't because of Messi, even it's because my favorite player at the time when I was really getting into
Ronaldinho.
No,
Ronaldinho.
When I was getting into international soccer was Samuel Eto'o.
Those golden boots.
Yeah, he was my favorite player.
Ronaldinho was my favorite player. And of course,
I'm telling you, those gold boots, I was like, oh, that's fucking fly.
Ronaldo, the true Ronaldo.
The real Ronaldo?
Yeah, the Brazilian Ronaldo. He was always one of my favorite players to watch. Mainly because when he scored a goal, he did that finger wag every time. The finger wag got me. I had the cold-blooded man right there.
Did he have you when he had that fucking weird-ass haircut?
Yeah,
the hair only like the front.
He had a little tuft on
so gross. God.
Hey, but when you're the best, you can do it. Man.
Yeah. But yeah, Ronaldo, he's actually, I feel like, getting better over time because a few years ago when I watched him, it was always, I'm going to just get out on the side and I'm going to outrun you.
Yeah,
I'm faster than you and I'm more powerful than you. And he wasn't worried about necessarily having the foot skills, the passing skills, all of that. I mean, he has the ball skills, but it's not nowhere near Messi's ball skills. Because that ball never leaves Messi's foot, mainly because he's like 4'3".
He has it on the string.
His legs are like 2 feet long, so it's like he takes these little tiny steps around the field.
Well, the real Ronaldo, that dude was short and ball skills.
But yeah, Ronaldo, he's like the most powerful soccer player. There, like when he frees himself up for a shot and he gets his leg behind it, that thing is a cannon.
Yeah.
I mean, if he can get it in the right spot.
If he gets the curve.
Sometimes it can be a little suspect.
It was the beginning of this year. He only had like 3 goals like in like 6 or 7 games. I was like, what?
All right, well, Andrew, who you got?
My topic goes to Pop.
Poppy?
I like that little article that was written about him opening up, confessing he overcoached LaMarcus. Huh?
When you at us?
Yeah. Yeah, when he just overcoached him and he just taking the blame. That's typical Pop.
Yeah. That's what it kind of goes to what he said about Manu's game winner against Boston. He was like, it's like Manu told me years ago, it's what I do.
Manu gonna Manu. Yeah. So yeah, I give my top to Coach Pop. I mean, that was just it was a good read.
You don't hear coaches say that either.
Yeah, no.
Like, especially not in basketball. Like, I miss coach.
That's my fault.
They're all like they're like he didn't want to fit in the system.
And just the way that he went about it, talking about how that they were breaking bread during the off season, and he's just
they should do a Netflix documentary.
No, they shouldn't.
I would love to.
No, they shouldn't.
Called
because we don't need a distraction.
Papicus.
That's why the only teams that get hard knocks in the NFL are the shitty teams.
Hey, the Bucks were supposed to
be because of Hard Knocks. We was like, hey, the Bucks might be legit.
We thought the same thing when they did it to Houston too. I was like, oh shit, man.
I know that's because Houston came off that good year. Remember they had like the varsity jackets going on.
Yeah,
it was all high school about.
It's the shitty teams. You don't go on Hard Knocks. You don't bring that shit here. That's why Jerry's all about publicity. Never gonna take Hard Knocks.
Yeah, which is mind-blowing to me.
Because he fucking knows you only do it to the shitty teams.
Our secrets will be
That means we can't have the prostitutes here in the off-season. Or preseason.
It's really that Jerry Jones isn't the real Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is a little leprechaun in the janitor's closet.
Counting the money.
Me pot of gold.
And leprechauns are supposed to be imaginary, so you can't let the secret out. So follow that up with who's the sloppy one.
My sloppy goes to Tom Brady and the Patriots. Just
I'll let what I said previously make my case on that one. About my Tom Brady rant from a couple weeks ago.
They had zero third down conversions against the Dolphins.
It was beautiful. For the first time in Patriots, the Patriots have done that since '92.
Yeah. That's fucking...
Yo, that just shows you.
Yeah. That was just... Oh, man, you got to give it to time.
time.
He looked all sorts of baffled.
Just lost.
He was like,
That's what I have written.
he was like, where did my white gorilla go? Where's the albino gorilla? I need the albino gorilla out here.
Where's that big goofy dude? What's his name? Honk? Waka waka waka. Where the fuck is he at?
I hear it, but I can't find him.
Yeah, it was a beautiful sight to see for me because I picked Miami to win.
Out of all the picks, out of everybody that turned everything in, you're the only one that picked Miami to win.
They probably looking like, who's this stupid guy?
He's the only one.
No, I was actually saying that was kind of a built-in schedule loss. Like that's one of those, like Gronk's out and like. They played Miami with Matt Moore as their starter a couple weeks ago and blew him out. So it was the Dolphins traded J.H.I.E. And let Kenyon Drake take over the starting spot. And he had a great game last week. The Dolphins can create a pass rush with Ndamukong Suh and Cameron Wake. Cameron Wake has the most sacks on Tom Brady out of any active player. And there was I think there might have been kind of a star corner born out of that game in Xavier Howard.
Yo, balled out, definitely.
Yeah, he shut Brandon Cooks down. And I think he got both interceptions on Tom Brady.
Yep.
Yeah, and he almost had a third. So yeah, it was a game that I kind of thought was coming from the Patriots, which is what scares me about this week because they bounce back better than any team in the NFL. So Alvin, on to you.
My knot is the Marlins front office. That early Christmas gift that they gave the Yankees.
Let's be honest. Not all of the front office.
Just the newest member.
The one that's running it.
Just the guy that I put down as my sloppy.
The head honcho. Hey, he's running it.
No, he. So, did you hear all the details about his contract? He's getting paid $5 million to be an owner because he's also the president of baseball operations.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's in it.
He gets to make baseball decisions. He has $1 million a year transportation. What's the word?
Cars.
No, it's what he's given.
A jet.
He's given
like a personal driver.
He's given $1 million that he can spend on travel.
Oh.
Stipend. He's given like $1 million a year transportation stipend,
like an allowance.
And then he's also getting paid like $3 million a year for this and another $1 million for this. One of the things that I was Dan Le Batard, Miami Central. I
hate Dan Le Batard.
I love listening to Dan Le Batard. He's like one of my favorite sports personalities because he understands what being a fan is about. Or being like he understands that fans are get too riled up in things, even though he's guilty. He's guilty of it. And he'll call himself out for being guilty of it
because the fans live in the moment.
And so he was saying that they were talking about how the Marlins were trying to make up $300 million from them buying, or Jeter was trying to make up $300 million for buying the Marlins, and so they took the $300 million. So they traded him to cancel out that $300 million that they overpaid the Marlins for.
He was like Steinbrenner. I need $300 million.
Right. You want to take this off my hands?
He's like, I'll give you $296. Great. I mean,
yeah.
He gave him an early fucking Christmas gift.
And also, Marcelo Ozuna is getting traded to the Cardinals.
Yep, that happened. And now they're going to trade Yelich.
D. Gordon got traded to the Mariners.
For nothing.
Yeah.
For nothing. It was like 100, and the Mariners got like $100 million on top of that.
That's fucking stupid.
To try to get Ohtani.
That didn't work out too well.
Hey, that's the Angels. Now he's injured.
That's nothing.
Karma, bitch.
Hashtag bitter.
Chose wrong. But now they're going to trade Yelich, and they're talking about like, oh, he's even going to be at a higher rate than Ozuna, and I'm like,
yeah,
it's just shipping out everybody. Like,
I understand. Like looking at it now, I understand the trading Giancarlo. We've talked about trading him before,
but they got man. But just Sterling Castro. That's all you got.
Yeah, that was.
You go up to Bryce Harper.
The Yankees are going after Bryce Harper.
Typical Yankee shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know what the Yankees are doing before they know, and it was like typical Yankee shit.
Their agent, it's Scott Boras. Like that's the Scott Boras represented, I believe, A-Rod.
Yep.
He represents Giancarlo. He represents Bryce Harper.
Anybody with a big name, he basically like.
Except Mike Trout. God bless Mike Trout.
He's a hero.
Stay true to yourself. Stay in small market Los Angeles.
Small market.
Yes, small market.
The only reason it's small is because it's saturated.
I bet there was Los Angeles of Anaheim. I bet that's what they use to sell the small market stuff. We're technically in Anaheim.
Have you been to LA? Do you realize that we have the Dodgers here too?
Right.
We're the small market team. They're the big market team. We're the small market
team.
We're
the Clippers.
We're the exactly.
They're Los Angeles. We're Los Angeles of Anaheim.
It doesn't make sense.
There's a difference.
Yes, it makes sense. No, you're Vanilla Ice.
You see, if you were from LA, you wouldn't know that. You would know the difference.
Right. But
yeah, that's why I just put Derek Jeter down as my sloppy pick.
Well, what's his name? Is Bourne, right? Or
yeah,
Jason
Bourne.
Jason Bourne.
Justin, not Jason Bourne.
Matt Damon, dude. Matt Damon.
Justin Bourne.
Justin Bourne. I hope he gets traded too, because I do not want him to stay there.
Yeah, they're
now. Like nah. I felt like they had a good look at the names that were named.
Yeah.
I felt like they had a good core.
And Giancarlo.
You should write a letter.
I will.
Giancarlo said that in the press conference. Is like he went and said
BF.
I just y'all just need to build a pitching staff.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
They told him that they were going to try to trade people, and he was like, I don't want to be part of a rebuild. Like they almost made the playoffs this year.
And Giancarlo was like 27? 26, 27? So of course I understand that he does not want to spend the rest of his primes in a rebuild.
Yeah, and now God, the Yankees are going to be so fucking good.
You already saw the memes
it's
the Astros when they hear that stuff
Well, I like to think of this is a dated reference, but I like to kind of be like a throwback millennial. Do you all know the Bugs Bunny cartoon where he's playing baseball and he's playing 1-on-9 and it's Bugs against these big giant
actual real baseball players?
Yeah.
They made them overly big.
Yeah,
the steroid era.
And there's a clip. There's a clip where those guys Bugs is pitching to them and they just keep jacking home runs and then they're doing the
run around the bases.
Yeah, they're not even running. They're conga lining down around the bases. That's how the Yankees are going to be this year because they're also talking about getting Manny Machado. Fuck that.
Well, they already traded. They made room for it. They got rid of.
Machado doesn't want to play third base anymore. He wants to go to shortstop, and they have Didi Gregorius. So
I bet you they'll move him to second base because they
have Frazier. I think Frazier, their young guy, can play second base. Clint Frazier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I think they still have Todd Frazier, who's third base. So
all they need is Brendan Frazier.
That's. I think they also
Frazier.
So it'll be. I don't know who they have at first.
I'm just saying they're making moves to make that happen because they either could move Gregorius or they have Machado DH or something.
Yeah, but I don't think they want to move Gregorius. But their lineup is ridiculous the way it's sitting right now. So fuck you, Derek.
Gabby Sanchez.
another guy that I've ranted about plenty.
Seriously, it's never gonna end.
He's a biracial angel.
Should have shot A-Rod.
At this point, I like A-Rod more than I like Jeter.
A-Rod is just so likable.
Yeah, you see him in the post games.
Yes, he's just.
He like tries to talk like real educational too. He's like all about his hands and everything like that. It's just like really well spoken.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's really well spoken.
So likable when he's not juicing.
Well, I feel like there's a difference. It's when you've been the enemy for so long, you have to learn how to be able to speak so that people like who just hate you when they listen to you, they're like, oh, you're not so bad. But when you're liked your entire career, you never have to talk to anybody. Like, you can just do whatever the fuck you want and get away with it because you're Derek fucking Jeter. Like Steph Curry could get away with murder on the court, and they'd be like, "But he has the baby face. He's just so cute out there shooting threes and stabbing a guy in the stomach." I don't know what you're talking.
I mean,
about.
that's Tim Duncan in San Antonio too.
Yeah,
Tim Duncan could have murdered off fucking. He could have just gotten away with killing spree.
Hypothetical now. If Tim Duncan was to kill Greg Popovich.
All right, no,
we still love Tim more than Pop.
What?
I think that would at least get him to court. He might be acquitted.
Tim,
right then Johnny Cochran comes out of nowhere and is like, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
They don't make gloves big enough for those hands.
It's just like on the finger.
Tim Duncan could be found with a body right in front of him holding the knife, and San Antonio would be like, huh?
It's that.
Nah, you didn't do it.
It's that Eminem line and Forgot About Dre, where they're standing outside of a burning house
with gasoline.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that barking dog.
So let's get on to our bold prediction. Let's go straight from the jockey.
Straight from the jockey.
From the jock.
Andrew, let's go. You got so super excited when you wrote it down. You're like, now that's a bold pick.
Oh yeah, you did. You emphasized that.
Okay. What do you got?
I mean, it's there's a build up. This is how you let the beat build, bitch.
Oh wait, nah.
I got the Patriots unleashing frustration of last week's loss with a win behind Tom Brady with a 5-touchdown game.
I could see it. It's
5 touchdowns though. I had to cross out 3. I was like, that's gonna happen either way.
Yeah, I'm like, have you watched Tom Brady in revenge games? Like, he unleashes like holy hell.
Should I go to 6?
I think you're telling me I
think he's gonna break the record and throw 8 in a game.
All right, you know what? I'm going to 6.
I'm keeping it at 5.
No, I
hope
5 touchdowns.
That's the one. So
5 TDs in the win.
One thing I didn't touch on when we were talking about Steelers Patriots is more things that I've caught on from watching NFL Live and all of the other NFL shows that I watch, is that the Steelers over the past few years defensively couldn't play man-to-man. They just didn't have the bodies, the personnel to play man-to-man. Now Ryan Shazier is that injury really hurts them, and hopefully I think they said that he had to have some stuff removed from his spine. That's what happened. Like, they had to. I don't remember what they did in his surgery, and I don't know if I don't think I've heard anything about him being out for the rest of the year. But he's one of their most crucial parts of their defense because of how quick he moves. The Steelers have a fast defense, and the Patriots like to use their speed on the outside, getting balls into the playmakers. So the Steelers can play man instead of sitting back and playing zone. So we'll see how the Steelers line up. But Gronk's also back, and Gronk's a big mismatch. So I will say that is a bold prediction from you, sir. Alvin, you go.
I'm actually going the other way with this. I say the Steelers is going to stomp a mud hole on the Patriots, putting up 37 with Le'Veon Bell over 100 yards, Antonio Brown over 100 yards.
That'll be, I think, 6 straight weeks.
Big Ben with 4 touchdowns.
So Le'Veon's gonna get yards but no touchdowns?
Well,
That's usually how it works against the Patriots. You get down there and you're like, shit, now what do we do? Alrighty, I like this. I like this little conflicted
that offense roll face.
Game's gonna start and the fucking meteor's gonna land in the middle of the field and neither team is going to win. And I'm gonna stick with football too on my pick. I'm picking the Browns to get their first win of the season against the Ravens. It's an AFC North matchup, and we were talking. I was talking about how
Ghost Chili Pepper Bowl right there, man.
I was talking about how all of the AFC North teams like to play each other close. The Browns' defense has been pretty good all season. They haven't been I don't think they've really had a terrible game. It's been their offense, and Josh Gordon is just slowly getting into the swing of things, and he made a catch last week against the Packers for a touchdown that was unbelievable. It was like go gadget arms.
He got game.
And I think I hope that I would put hope in Hugh Jackson to kind of let Deshaun Kaiser continue to grow. Isaiah Crowell is a decent enough running back to get yards for you. Duke Johnson is a very good third down, changes pace back. And the Ravens just gave up 500 yards passing to Big Ben, and yes, that's Big Ben, Antonio Brown, that offense. But that was also without Juju Smith-Schuster. So I think at home, the Browns are going to avoid an 0-16 year, and they're going to get win number 1.
Number 1.
The boldest pick of them all.
Number 2 is going to get number 1.
Ghost Chili Pepper Bowl.
So I think with that we can wrap this week up. As always, this is the Benchwarmers Podcast, and I'm Casey Coggins, here with Andrew Lira.
See ya.
And Alvin Hebert.
LeVar Ball, shut the fuck up.
God, I said
from the Lakers.
I said we were not going to talk about him. No more LeVar Ball. No more. It's not happening.
We didn't even talk about it, but I just said LeVar Ball, shut the fuck up.
He doesn't even need to be mentioned.
All right.
No more.
Voldemort. Voldemort Ball.
He shall not be named.
Voldemort.
All right. On that note, see you on next time.